In this segment, we're going to talk about supply and demand and making it objective. In a prior video, we took you through the definitions of pivots, swings, bases, and also defining the leg in and leg out for a base. So we're going to take it the next step further and talk to you about how to make it objective. So the first thing you have to do is say, what patterns am I looking for? So we're going to be focusing on the typical supply and demand patterns that traders look for. You know, the rally-based drop, the drop-based rally, the drop-based drop, and the rally-based rally. So for a quick recap, you can see here that we have a leg in, we have a base, and we have a leg out. And the base is, this is your candle that starts the base, and this is the basing candle inside the base. And so this actually never closed higher or lower than this candle. So that's just a quick review of the definitions as we move forward and talk about how to make this objective. So we've defined the rules for the base and the basing candles. We've defined what is a leg in and a leg out, but we're just looking at those visually to see if they look significant. So how can we take that to the next step? So as we look at how to make the leg in and leg out assessment objective, we've chosen the measurement of ATR, average true range. So we're looking at the range of price movement from one candle to the next, and we're using that measurement to evaluate the strength of the leg in and the leg out candles. And in doing so, we can make finding our patterns totally objective. Other things we can also consider when we look at the leg in and leg out is, what is the candle body size? What is the position relative to the base? The candle color, those are the ones that we look at for leg out. We look at the same ones for leg in addition to that is, can the basing candle, which starts the base, also act as the leg in? So let's look at some things visually on the chart. So you've got your leg in, and you can see this leg in goes below the base. And so you can actually set parameters on what you will allow that to, how much of the leg in can go below the base. You can see here we have a gap out of the base, and how are you going to treat that? Are you going to treat the gap as part of the candle body? You know, is it going to be considered in the measurement of the leg out? How is that going to be determined? So as here, as you look at this leg in, you know, how much wick are you, how much candle body do you want? What's your optimum number for your trading style? How many candles do you want there to be in the base? You know, what's the maximum? I mean, are you going to do you want there to be, are you going to allow 20 candles to be in your base, or do you only want 2? You have flexibility to determine that. And then your leg out candle, you know, how much of that is candle body? You know, what is the color of that candle? Or, you know, if this was a green candle out, would you be okay with that? You know, for your trading style, what would you want that to look like? So there's a lot of different things you need to consider when you're laying out what your rules are for your supply and demand bands. And so we're just going to talk you through a few examples in the next slide. Okay, so here's some examples of how you could make your supply and demand patterns objective. You know, will you allow it to start with a basing candle? What's the maximum number of candles you want in the base? You know, do all the candles, must they close within the range of the basing candle, the base candle that started the base? When you look at the leg out, you know, what are your rules for the leg out? You know, you're going to allow it to close outside the range of the basing candle. You know, is that a must? what percentage of the ATR from the prior candle is required in order for you to determine that that's a good leg out. How much of the candle, the leg out candle needs to be candle body. Do you care what the color of the leg out candle is? And is it all right for the leg out candle to go below the base? And then when you look at the leg in, what percentage of the ATR do you want that to be? What percentage do you want the minimum candle body to be? Are you going to let the leg in candle go below the base? And do you care what the color of the leg in candle are? And there's a lot of other things that you could add into this, but that's just to kind of get you thinking about how do you look at your supply and demand patterns and start to take the subjectivity out of them so that you can truly assess your trade plan and know how it's going to perform so that you can have more confidence in your trading. Happy trading!